Hi, welcome to CLAAS Live. I'm Mike Lessiter, editor and publisher of Farm Equipment from the United States. We're over here in Hanover, Germany today, and we're going to spend a few minutes here talking with Eric Raby, President and General Manager of Sales for CLAAS North America. Hello, Eric.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to see you today.
Good. Welcome to the 2019 Agritechnica Farm Show here in Hanover. Glad you could make it and be with us.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit more about Agritechnica.
So Agritechnica has been going on for many years. It's always in Hanover. It's every second year, and it's the single largest farm equipment show in the world. And if you've had a chance, and you have today, walk around, you know that's exactly true.
This is a bit of a homecoming for you as a German manufacturer here this week.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can look behind us here and see all the equipment that we're showcasing this year, and we'll have a chance to talk about that in a few minutes. But no, I'm excited to be here, and I know you are too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've got some big announcements here at CLAAS this year, starting with this bright green and new colored equipment. Tell us about that.
Sure. So back in July, we had our dealer meeting in Omaha, Nebraska, where we brought all of our dealers from the United States and Canada in, and really did try to do a lot of things. First was showcase some new equipment, talk about distribution of challenges and opportunities that we have for them, and really to charge them with the growth that we want to see in North America. And I made the statement twice to them. I said, our goal over the next 5 years is to double the amount of business that CLAAS does in North America. So this gives us yet another opportunity for some of our dealers that came with us on this trip to Agritechnica to further expand that message that we're talking about. One of the other things we did is after our dealer meeting, we had the opportunity to use the 2019 Farm Progress Show as kind of the public launch pad, if you will, to really let the public know what was going on. One of the big things that they did see was they didn't see a yellow combine anymore, they saw a green combine. And that's really taking from that the change over to seed green for everything that led us to the Be Brighter campaign. So the color gets the customer to come talk to us or come talk to the dealer and say, oh, that's a really bright color. But that's just the start of the conversation. Because in reality, we want to talk about brighter solutions and brighter ways to do things and how we can help deliver some of those to the customer. So it's a bit of a play on words, but we had a great opportunity to do that with the Combine and the rest of our products and showcase those. And since that time, we've had a lot of momentum from that.
Particularly for the U.S. market, North America market, the color change is not insignificant, is it?
No, it's definitely not, because if you take a look at CLAAS's history in the Combine market, specifically over the years, the linkage to Caterpillar at the beginning, the joint venture, this really represents, if you will, that full circle movement from back when CLAAS started in combines on its own in North America. They were green. So this really helps us come back and say, number one, this is a CLAAS combine, but number two, and more importantly, we're more than just combines, and this is very evident here on what we have to show on this stand.
I had an interview with Katrina Klaas Muehlhauser today, and she's the chair of your company. Told us that the Combine in particular is probably the biggest technological innovation in the last 25 years. You want to tell us a little bit more about the Combine?
Yeah, you bet. And that's one of the things, too, is people look at the Combine in North America and say, oh, it's green now. Is that the change? No. Again, it goes back to using that opportunity to say, okay, what are the brighter solutions that we put in there? And I think for the first time, CLAAS really did look at the North America market, whether it's the Western Canadian grain belt or it's the Midwestern corn and soybean belt, really looking at what are those innovative things that we already had, how do we improve upon those, but then what are those things that are on top of that, whether it be higher unloading rates, more grain tank capacity, the accessibility and the maintenance that people are looking for. You know, and those are still small things, but when we tell people the amount of change, so the new Combine represents 65% new content, and that's not insignificant. And I think for those people who have been to the farm shows, whether it was Farm Progress or Husker Harvest or the shows we've had in Canada, where we've been able to run in the field, the first thing they see immediately is the capacity, but the second thing they see also is it's very, very smooth. It's very well engineered. Really well put together. But so, you know, when we talk about this being really a revolutionary combine, it certainly is.
Excellent, excellent. I know one of the real exciting things, and you've got another big announcement here, is we've got a Xerion on tracks here, and I think that the tractor really changes the game in North America too. Can you tell us about the Xerion announcement?
Sure. And I'll kind of lead into that first. When we had our dealer meeting in the Farm Progress Show back in the summertime, we took the opportunity to launch the new 800 and 900 series Axion tractors, which gets us into the standard four-wheel drive tractor market from 200 horsepower up to 440. But what we also took the opportunity to do, but we couldn't quite release until we got here, is the Xerion tractor, which we introduced in North America in 2014. We really listened to customers a lot and said, what do you like about this tractor? What could we improve upon this tractor? And one thing that resonated with everyone, whether it was in the U.S. or it was in Canada, was tracks. So we asked ourselves, okay, who better to do tracks than us? Because we've been in the track business on the combines for almost 30 years now. Last year, we introduced tracks on our forage harvester, self-propelled forage harvester. At the Farm Progress Show this year, we introduced tracks on the Axion 900 series. So we really only had one more machine-powered unit that we need to put tracks on, and that's shown here. So that really gets us into that high output, over 500 horsepower track or four-wheel drive market with a track offering.
Another thing that we talked about in our interview with Katrina today, huge international presence in agriculture, third generation, family owned and operated, about $5 billion US is what I recall. What could you tell us about the resources and attention that North America is getting as we move forward? Yeah,
and I think when you talked to her today, she probably made that pretty clear, not only from the shareholders' perspective, but the group executive board and the whole company. And I come to these meetings and I get to see all my colleagues, and it's like, oh, you're from North America. That's a focal point for the whole group on a global basis, and what can we do to help? Because if we're going to have an aspirational goal of doubling our business in 5 years, we're certainly going to have resources to do that. So everything from product engineering, further development like we saw with the Lexion Combine, the tracks on the Xerion tractor, we need to start taking a look at other things that'll give us the opportunity to support that growth, especially with our dealers. And when we look at it from a distribution standpoint, that's one of the areas that we have to continue to focus on, and our relationship and our partnership with those dealers.
Bright days ahead, it looks like.
Very bright indeed.
Very good. Anything else you want to add while we're here?
No, I would just say to all of you out there, thank you for joining us. If you've never been to Germany, Hanover is the place to come. The Agritechnica is definitely the place to be. You've got 2 years to plan if you start now, so we'd love to see you here on the CLAAS stand if you happen to be in town this year. If not, we'll see you in 2 years. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. And one last plug, we'll be back here same time tomorrow, and discussing some trends with Ty Rankin, who's a CLAAS dealer from Lone Star Equipment down in Texas, who's over here this week. So look forward to seeing you then. Thank you, Eric, and thank you.